What's poppin', what's droppin'? This your boy live and direct in full effect out the 832. Y'all already know how Jimmy J. Smith do it. I just wanted to do a quick video on the Astros going after managerial candidates for the field manager vacancy that was vacated was vacated by AJ Hinch's firing. Now, I look at the list of candidates. Couple of guys stand out right now. I don't know all the candidates, but I do know for a fact that they are looking at Buck Showalter and John Gibbons. Now, I want to start off with John Gibbons. Now, John Gibbons is a pretty decent manager, but the problem with John Gibbons is John Gibbons have a history of getting into it with his players. He has too many player-manager incidents that goes on. He's damn near got to fighting, if he hasn't already gotten to fighting with a few of his players as manager of the Blue Jays. Now, he did 2 stints at the Blue Jays. I think they fired him one time and then they brought him back, and then the second time was all she wrote. But if John Gibbons can come in and help the Astros win with the talent he got, that'll be decent, because he does have youth in age to his advantage. Now, another interesting candidate, which is the guy that I would like to get, he's not my top guy that I would get, because I wouldn't mind having Ozzie Guillen as the field manager. You know, Ozzie Guillen, he was the one that kicked our ass in the 2005 World Series, you know, and I think he has youth on his side as well, and then he relates to younger players and he fights for his players. So he's one of the better guys out there. So if anything, I will go after Ozzie Guillen. But let me address the confirmed possible manager, and that's Buck Showalter. Now, Buck Showalter, even though he's up in age, 65 years old, he does have experience on his side. And number one, he does have a history of building championship teams. Now, he didn't necessarily win a championship, because the Yankees of the 1990s, Buck Showalter built that team. Let's just keep this 1010 and tell the truth and shame the devil. He built the Yankees of the 90s that Joe Torre happened to come in and take advantage of. That's not to say Joe Torre didn't deserve to get in the Hall of Fame, you know, because you have to be decent enough. But just let's keep it 1010. Had Buck Showalter didn't have a fickle moment with George Steinbrenner, he probably would have won 4, maybe 5 World Series, because that's the team he built. Also, with the Arizona Diamondbacks, he built the Arizona Diamondbacks with Curt Schilling and Randy Johnson. He built that team, and then the next year that he got fired, the next manager came in and won a championship and didn't do anything after. So Buck Showalter does have a history, and then he took the Baltimore Orioles organization to a ALCS. So he does have a history of building teams, getting teams to the promised land, or almost to the promised land, or the foundation for getting teams for the promised land. So if I'm the Astros organization, if I don't interview a Ozzie Guillen, I would probably go after Showalter. Now, my personal opinion, because of his age, I think with the age factor coming in, he's probably going to not be there no more than 5 years. You know, with the team we got, any manager can just come in if they know how to manage the team and win a couple of World Series, or possibly be in a competing stage of the World Series. So with Showalter, I think 5 years, you know, so that means he would be 70 in about 5 years, depending on how far along 65 he's in, you know, maybe 71, 72. So he would be a short-term guy, because, you know, in my opinion, but I think he could do enough to at least get a championship, have them championship ready, like he had the Yankees championship ready. You know, even though he left those teams and they won a championship after the year, let's give that guy credit where credit is due. He built the foundation of those Diamondback teams and those New York Yankees teams. So nevertheless, I think the candidates that the Astros have so far is a good idea. but I would definitely look into getting Ozzie Gillian. So once again, this your boy, live and direct in full effect out the 832. Y'all already know how I do.